What's up, everybody? Thank you for listening to the Flip Side Podcast, Flip Side for your ears. This is a quick hits edition where we go over one or two topics that'll get you through your commute, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, whatever you're doing. We appreciate any feedback, reviewing, subscribe, download, like, whatever your platform, however you get your podcast. Please hit the like, hit subscribe, and let's keep this thing rolling. Let's go.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
A bit outside.
Oh my, he's on fire!
What's up, everybody? Thank you for listening to the Flip Side Podcast. What we're going to do today is go over what happened this weekend and what to look for going forward for the rest of the week, and mainly the NBA, but a couple other stories to get to over the weekend. We'll start with golf. The Northern Trust, the first leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Dustin Johnson shot a 30 under par. Think about that. To win the Northern Trust. He won that tournament by 11 strokes. So Dustin Johnson, the former number one player in the world, has kept himself in the running and is still one of the top players in the world. Showed that he's in tip-top shape coming down the home stretch, where we'll see a couple more majors, and should be interesting as everything shakes out and we have a bunch of majors stacked together towards the end of the season. To the NBA, the Bucks took a 3-1 lead today over the Orlando Magic. Giannis had 31, 15, and 8. That series is at 3-1. Looks like the Bucks are going to close that one out pretty easily after a first game scare where it looked like they didn't have any answers for Orlando, and Giannis was still trying to do it by himself. He didn't get a whole lot more help, but it looks like he's become way too much for the 8-seed Orlando Magic. The rest of the East is finished. Miami finished off Indiana today, 99-87. Jimmy Butler got hurt, a little shoulder injury. We'll see how that plays out, but Miami awaits most likely Milwaukee, which should be a good series, and then Philadelphia was eliminated and fired their coach after their loss to Boston over the weekend. I'm not sure that I agree with firing a coach. We saw New Orleans do it, and now Philly's done it in this bubble circumstance. But New Orleans I disagreed with a little more. They have a lot to build off of and a young core. Brett Brown going from Philly, it was kind of a done deal if they couldn't make a run. And it looks like the process is coming to an end. Be interesting to see what that team looks like going into next year, and if they hold on to both key pieces, and Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, who don't seem to play together well and don't seem to play together often, considering one of them seems to be dealing with some sort of injury. But the winner of that series, the Philly series, Boston, will take on Toronto, which should be a great series. The defending champ Raptors, minus Kawhi Leonard, look to be clicking on all cylinders again. Boston's deep. They're good defenders. Both teams have great defenders on the perimeter. The East should be a couple great matchups. The Bucks obviously will be the favorites over Miami, but you know, if Giannis can't get quite a bit of help, Miami's going to be much more of a problem than Orlando was. Out west, the Clippers should be down 3-1. A couple bad technicals by Kristaps Porzingis in the first game have them in a better position than they should be. They probably should have lost that game, and they cannot stop Luka Doncic, it seems. He had 43 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists, and a approximately 27-foot game winner in overtime at the buzzer to tie the series up 2 games apiece. The Clippers don't look right. They haven't gotten help from Paul George. They're not getting help off the bench until this last game where Lou Williams decided to do what Lou Williams does. but it still wasn't enough. What Luka's doing is impressive. He's one of the best players in the league. We've known that for pretty much this whole season and a lot of last season when he was the runaway Rookie of the Year, I thought. But he's doing a lot of this work on Kawhi, who's a great defender, and you can tell Luka has to work a little harder for it, and it's not the most efficient of numbers, but he's getting the job done, and he's wearing Kawhi out, it seems. And on the other side, the Clippers need help. Kawhi, like Giannis, is trying to do it by himself, and Paul George has not been efficient, not been overly effective, and Giannis can get by without the help. Kawhi may not be able to because Dallas is just better than Orlando. And then Oklahoma City tied up the Houston Rockets today behind 26 from Chris Paul and 30 from Dennis Schroeder off the bench. That series is getting interesting, tied 2 games apiece. Oklahoma City continues their Cinderella-like run. Looks like Houston is going to get Russell Westbrook back next game. He was working out before the game and looked pretty good. We'll see how that affects their chemistry, but I don't think it hurts. And I think Houston still should win this series, but Oklahoma City, as they've done all year, is making things interesting, and you can't count them out. I mean, when they traded Russ and Paul George, it looked like they were in full tank mode, but they're right in this thing and looking to move on. We see Utah and Denver. Utah's up 3-1 and kind of a surprise. I thought Denver was a dark horse to make some noise in this playoffs, especially considering the addition of Michael Porter Jr.'s contributions. I mean, he's been there, but he hasn't been healthy, and now he's becoming more effective. So Utah's surprised me. They got Conley back. Conley looked really good in his first game back. This series, Denver's on the ropes. We'll see how they respond tonight. And obviously, we've got that game that starts off today's games. There's only 2, and then the Clippers and Mavericks, which should be a good one. If the Clippers get help from, if they can get Patrick Beverley back or get help from Paul George on a different level than he's been able to quote unquote help, the Clippers should be able to take care of the Mavericks. But who knows? That whole team can shoot. That whole team can defend, and Rick Carlisle's got them boys humming. So we'll see how that goes. The Lakers absolutely destroyed the Portland Trailblazers and take a 3-1 lead. I tried to tell you, Dame time is cool and all, but Damian Lillard's been good. Everybody's saying the Lakers should be on upset alert. It doesn't look. I said Lakers in 5, maybe 6. It's looking like 5, especially. Damian Lillard left in the third quarter. We'll see how available he is for Game 5. But if Lillard's out, I expect this one to be Lakers in 5. If he plays, it's still probably Lakers in 5, but maybe 6. Looks like the Lakers are going to roll on to the next round, though. And that's what I've got for basketball. This playoffs has been exciting, even without fans. It's been fun to watch, and Lakers put on a show on Mamba Day, 8/24, a day after Kobe's birthday. That was good to see. I'm excited to see how these series kind of wrap up, and see what kind of second round matchups we get. They look like they're going to be tighter and more competitive, and it should be good stuff going forward. So that's what I got for the weekend. Thanks for listening. Thank you for tuning in to the Flipside Podcast, Flipside for your ears. Again, like, subscribe, download, leave a review, and see you next time. Thank you.